Check-in number 3. Let's do this. So what were some of the struggles this week? In terms of adhering to my caffeine limit for the week, I barely just got by. I think this week my total consumption was around 1600 milligrams, which I think works out to be a little bit over 200 every day. And what I've been noticing with 200-ish milligram dose per day is I'm just barely on that border of, man, like this is just cutting it. Like, I mean, obviously I would love to go over that, but with the 200-ish per day, it's gonna have to do. Like, it's honestly like when I consume that last amount of caffeine for the day, every time I'm just thinking like, man, I really wish that I just had like 50 more milligrams or 100 more milligrams. But that's just what goes through my mind, and that's just what happens when I am addicted to caffeine. And it is not fun, and this is like what addicts, I don't know, this is probably the thought process of an addict. The energy this week hasn't been too bad. The dips in the energy level compared to last week or the week before, it hasn't been that bad. I want to say, like, I feel the transition in the energy level from last week to this week had been better. Like it wasn't the same intensity, but I have still utilized some like ultra quick naps, like literally like 5, 10, 15 minutes through the day, and for me that just works a lot. Like I'm not someone who needs to nap like an hour or 2 or 3. Like, for me, a nap is probably max of like 30 minutes of actual sleeping. But the cool thing, I don't know if it's cool, but the one thing that I like about how my body works is that if I actually fall asleep for like 5 minutes and just wake up from that, I feel way better, like way better than before the nap. So for me, ultra quick nap, they work. Like, they work very well for me. And honestly, like, most of the time when I try to nap anyway, I can't nap any longer than 15-30 minutes. So either way, that works. This week, I have been, I got my little indoor bike stand thing. So I literally have my regular bike on the stand, and I'm just riding it indoors. And I noticed, and this is like for exercise in general, is the easier it is for me to do the exercise, the more I'll adhere to it, and the more I'll be consistent, and the more likely I am to do it. But if it's a whole process, like how I was riding my bike, where it's like, man, I gotta go grab my bike, I gotta check the weather, I gotta go at the right time, and just this whole start and stop process, it's a whole process. So having access to an indoor bike or biking indoors works. And my plan basically with the biking, other than because I need to do my cardio, I'm hoping that I will increase my natural level of energy with my weaning off of caffeine, right? So the less external boost that I'll be getting from my tapering of caffeine, the more I am gonna need to rely on natural energy that I produce in my body, right? So it's kind of like how I envision it is the external caffeine boost will be like going down, and my hope is that I will be increasing my natural level of energy. So, as the next couple of weeks, come by, I'll be biking, and hopefully, my natural energy goes up so that when I'm completely off caffeine, I won't feel like shit. I think I mentioned this before, but every day, because now I am consuming such a low amount of caffeine for me, I get the dread like every day. Like, maybe it's a mindset thing, maybe it's like whatever, but every day I'm like, man, I only have 230 milligrams of caffeine to work with this week. So I'm like dreading it, right? Because that amount is what I consume like before 9 a.m. like back in the day. And nowadays, or this week, it's like I gotta stretch that out till like 5 or 6 p.m. Because I try to have a cutoff nowadays. Got smarter. But yeah, it's like, wow, I'm dreading hitting my caffeine limit for the day. The positive perspective I try to get out of this is, yes, like my tapering is a long process, right? It's like a month plus long process. So it's like I'm dealing with these like limits, like reduced weekly reductions, and like I said, like I'm thinking about it every day, like, oh, today I only have 200 to work with, right? Versus if I did like the cold turkey approach, it's like boom, you go from 100 to 0. So I guess the dread in the cold turkey approach would be for the week or 2 or 3 that you will actually be feeling like dog shit, like completely, like I don't even know, like all the symptoms, right? All the headaches, withdrawal, like I don't even know. So for me, it's like, yes, I feel some symptoms and I feel a prolonged period of dread, but I think for me, like, it probably makes more sense. I don't know, maybe I'm just torturing myself, but in my head I'm thinking I don't want to go through that cold turkey like absolute like crash. Like I'd rather just prolong it and get a little bit of caffeine and taper. But like I don't know, I've never tried the cold turkey approach, so maybe after this whole experiment and the likelihood of me getting back on caffeine, who knows, it's pretty high, as history has shown. But who knows, like maybe in 6 months I'll make another video like, hey guys, I'm back again, it's me. Maybe that time I will try the cold turkey approach, who knows. But hopefully this experiment I will realize that caffeine is truly the devil, and maybe something will click for me where I'm just like, you know what, I'm not gonna make caffeine a daily part of my routine. Maybe I'll just have it like a few times a week. I mean, who knows, right? Like the thought of that is so foreign to me because I've consumed caffeine like 364 days out of the year for the past 15 years. So, who knows? But that would be cool if I became one of those people who just like do not depend on caffeine, right? So, bottom line, addiction sucks. Stay in school and away from drugs. Peace.